Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. On this channel, I aim to post new videos every single week, taking you guys through my budget in an attempt to pay off all of my consumer debt. I've been working diligently for the last 8 months or so to pay down my credit cards. I have quite a bit of credit card debt, and I just share my budgets with you guys, how I'm making my money work for me. So I have in front of me my Budget by Paycheck Workbook from the Budget Mom. I have the printable version of this workbook, so what I do is just print the pages that I use. I don't use all of the pages from the workbook, just specific ones. So I print the ones that I need. I don't bother printing the ones I don't, which is why I love the printable version. Nothing's going to waste. I use an arc punch to punch my pages, and I keep them bound in this Happy Planner disc bound system. So I have that. I also have in front of me my deluxe monthly planner from Erin Condren. This is where I keep track of all of my transactions using the monthly layout. And so we're going to flip to the pages that I need. We're going to be doing my budget setup for the third week in the month of August. We are already nearing the end of August, you guys. What is going on? Why is time going so fast? I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and flip to the pages here. I have my August paycheck bill tracker for the week of August 18th. I receive a paycheck on the 18th, which is my husband's paycheck, and also the 21st, which is my paycheck from YouTube. As always, I do not disclose my husband's information, but I do go ahead and disclose the amount of money that I make from YouTube, because without you guys watching these videos, I would not have a dime coming in from YouTube channel. So for the month of July, I brought in a total of $282.77. The way that YouTube works is it's paid through AdSense, and it's paid just once a month if you reach a $100 threshold. So even though I did not receive this money until August 21st, this is actually the money that I brought in from July. There's a little bit of a delay. But yeah, $282.77, you guys. That is the most money that I've brought in a single month since I started my YouTube channel. Before this year, I was not making a consistent YouTube paycheck every month. This is the first year, and I've been posting videos here on YouTube for like 5 or 6 years now. This is the first year I've seen any sort of success with my channel, at least in terms of financially. So that's all thanks to you guys watching these videos, leaving comments, clicking the like button, watching the ads. Thank you, thank you, thank you, because I would not have this without you guys. Of course, this is not taxed. I need to set aside money for taxes, and so you will see that in this weekly budget. But before we get into that, we're going to start with the bills. So if you're not familiar with my channel and the way that I do my budget, under this bills category is not just our weekly bills like our electric bill and our cable bill. It's also anything that I pay using my debit card. So there's a lot of categories that I use cash for, but the things under bills are all things that the money stays in my bank account and I use my debit card to make those payments. So let's start figuring out what is going to go under this bills category. I'm going to grab a pen here. I am using the Parkoo Eraseable pen. I've talked to you guys about this pen ad nauseum. I love it. I love using an erasable pen because with budgeting, there's inevitably mistakes. You're adding numbers, you get the math wrong. I do it all the time. So I love being able to erase my mistakes. I don't have to pull in whiteout, and I just enjoy writing with ink much better than writing in pencil. So this Parkoo Erasable pen allows me to do that. All right, so the first thing that we are going to write under this bills category is groceries. I use the Walmart grocery pickup service for groceries, so it's super convenient to just leave that money in the bank. I can use my debit card to complete my order, and that's why groceries is under bills. I'm also going to combine my household and grocery categories again this week. That worked out really, really well last week. Because I'm not really buying household items from Amazon anymore, I'm trying to count on Amazon less and sort of break up with my Amazon credit card because I tend to overspend on Amazon. I've just been ordering my household items at the same time that I order my groceries, and that's been working out well. So typically I budget $150 for groceries and $30 for household expenses. And so this week we're going to combine those and budget a grand total of $180. So that is the budgeted amount. If you want to see exactly what I spend on groceries and household, you can check out my grocery haul, which I posted yesterday, by the time you're seeing this. And you can also come back at the end of the week and check out my budget results video where I talk about all of the actual numbers here. So this video will be all of my budgeted numbers. That video will talk about what I actually spent. All right, so that is sort of it for the expenses outside of our regular bills. So to figure out what bills I'm paying this week, I need to check out my deluxe monthly planner. In the August monthly section, I've stuck down stickers for all of the bills. We are looking at the paycheck my husband received on August 18th, so anything that falls between the 18th and when he gets paid again on the 25th. As you can see, some of these things have been checked off because I paid those last week. I had some extra income, and so I was able to get myself a little bit ahead. So the only bills that I have to pay this week are car insurance and motorcycle insurance, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing this week that I did last week and get myself ahead a little bit. So I'm going to try to tackle some of these bills as well. So we'll start out with car insurance. And my car insurance just went down a little bit. Michigan just did a car insurance reform bill or something. Michigan has the highest car insurance premiums of anywhere in our country, but they did just pass some sort of reform to give us a little bit of relief. So when we called and made changes to our car insurance coverage, we actually were able to lower our car insurance significantly. We were spending like $299, I believe, to cover all of our vehicles, and now, if I'm not mistaken, that bill is supposed to be coming in at right around $170. So we saved a ton of money by making some small changes to our car insurance. So very, very excited to have a lower bill this month. And I believe that that is going to be the total moving forward. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I believe so. All right, next up we have motorcycle insurance. So we have all of our vehicles under the same insurance umbrella with the exception of our motorcycle. We were able to get a lower rate going through a different company. And so we just have our motorcycle, we just have my husband's motorcycle insured through a different company. Just made more sense for us to do it that way, and I'm budgeting $40 for that. All right, so that is it for all of the bills that I have to pay, but I am going to get myself a little bit ahead. So bills that are due next week are DTE and Michigan Gas. That's our electric bill and our gas bill. And then we also have a couple of minimum payments on some credit cards. So I'm going to go ahead and try to knock out all of the bills for the rest of the month. Hopefully I'm not overextending myself, but I think I should be okay. So DTE is our electricity provider, and we have been on a budget plan with them for the past couple of years, they take the average of our yearly usage and divide it by 12, and we pay the same amount of money every single month. Well, last month was the redetermination for that, and they discovered that we had actually used more electricity than what we had been paying for. It's been so hot here in Michigan. We have been running our air conditioner constantly, and so what we paid throughout the year did not quite cover all of our usage. And so we were paying $175 a month, which seems astronomically high. We live in a very small mobile home, so it does not seem like it should be that high, but we have a ton of things that plug in, a lot of SmartThings devices and stuff. Plus, I'm sure that our home is not very well insulated, being a mobile home. So, yeah, we were already paying a lot, and now that bill is going to be going up to cover the extra that we used. So I'm going to pay $200 this month. That's what I'm budgeting. I'm hoping that will cover the difference, and I anticipate that this bill will be closer to $200 moving forward. Of course, as soon as we get our car insurance down, they go ahead and raise our electric bill. Never fails, but at least they even out a little bit. So that's that. Michigan Gas, we also are on a budget plan, and that is going to remain the same at $40. I don't think our redetermination for our gas company is until February or something. So far we're still just paying that $40. All right, next up we have Discover, which is a minimum payment. And we are going to budget $65 for that. I'm hoping that will cover that. Discover is the credit card that we recently had to use. We had to swipe for a few things when we had to go to my husband's grandmother's funeral. It was unexpected, and so I'm hoping that that $65 will cover that minimum payment, fingers crossed. Next we have Walmart, which is another minimum payment. My pen is starting to run out of ink. I have used this one to death. So for Walmart, I'm going to budget $110. And lastly for the month is our Lowe's card, which is another minimum payment. You can kind of see all of my credit cards are due towards the end of the month. And we are going to be budgeting, I think I said $100 for that. Let me just double check. Yeah, we're going to budget $100 for Lowe's. So that is it for all of our bills and expenses this week. We'll have some more, obviously, in the cash categories, but this is everything that I need to leave in my bank account. So let me go ahead and add this up. So we have 180 plus 170 plus 40 plus 200 plus 40 plus 65 plus 110 plus 100. That's $905 for our bill total this week. So that's that. Next we're going to move on to cash envelopes. You can see I have already written something in here because I did not want to forget. I'm going to give Austin $20 this week just for helping me out around the house. He's been super helpful lately. I usually try to give him a little bit of cash once a month. He's a great kid. He's so helpful. My older son can work part-time. He does a lot of lawn care and whatnot, so he always has spending money, but Austin's 12. He doesn't have as many opportunities to earn money, so I kick a little bit of cash his way. He mostly just uses it for Xbox games and stuff. He saves up for it, so I'm going to give him $20 this week. In addition to that, we have my husband's spending money. I like to pull that out in cash, and he gets $40 a week to spend on whatever he wants. I don't ask, he can do whatever he wants with it. In addition to his spending money, I also get spending money, which is also $40 a week. I'm going to switch this pen because it's really starting to run out on me. All right. Next we have miscellaneous. So miscellaneous just covers anything else in the budget that I did not plan for. You know, inevitably every single week we come up with something that I just didn't plan for. We end up needing something. So I always budget $50 for that. Next up we have gas, and I am going to bump this up quite a bit, and I'm going to budget $75. Not because I think we're going to need $75 in gas this week. Typically I budget $50. I don't even expect that we're going to need the full $50, but I want to bulk up my gas sinking fund a little bit because we pretty much exhausted that gas sinking fund. The way that I do gas is I budget however much I budget every week, and then if we don't use whatever we have left over, we just stick in a sinking fund so that we always have a little bit set aside for a week when we have to drive more, we have to fill up both vehicles, or however it works out. We just like to have a little bit of surplus gas money, and because that gas sinking fund is sitting pretty much empty at this point, I want to bulk it up a little bit, so I've done that. And lastly, we have eating out. We like to eat out one meal a week, and I budget $50 for that. So that is it for our envelope totals. It's a little bit higher than usual with that extra gas money and that extra money for Austin, but should be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add these up. 20 plus 40 plus 40 plus 50 plus 75 plus 50. And that is $275 total for our cash envelopes. Next, we'll move on to sinking funds. Sinking funds are little mini savings goals that we set for ourselves. We like to save up a little bit of money throughout the year for things that we know are coming, but that aren't necessarily weekly or even monthly expenses. So Christmas happens one time a year. Rather than waiting until December and having to scrounge up the money to do all of our Christmas shopping, we save a little bit of money throughout the year so that when Christmas rolls around, we have it. So that is the first sinking fund we're going to fill, actually, is Christmas. And we're going to save $25 for that. Oh, I skipped right over YouTube. So I told you guys in the beginning when I was talking about my YouTube earnings that they don't take taxes out of this, so I have to set it aside for myself. So what I do is I take 30% of the earnings and I stick it in an envelope so that when we file our taxes, we can pay those. We don't have to worry about coming up with that money later. So $282.77 is what I brought in for YouTube. And 30% of that is $84.83. I just round that up to 85 so that we are covered, and that goes into an envelope. So that was YouTube. Skipped right over that. So we got YouTube, we got Christmas. Next is car maintenance. It's another one of those things we like to save for a little bit at a time. That way when we inevitably have car trouble, we have a little bit of money set aside for that. And that fund came in handy this week when we blew a brake line on my truck. We were grateful that we had that car maintenance fund. We're going to add $25 to car maintenance. Next up, we have hunting. My husband is a hunter. Come October, he's going to need hunting licenses and any other supplies that he needs. So we save a little bit of money here and there for that. We're going to save $25 for that. And lastly, we have our campground. We own a camper and we pay an annual fee to have it on a permanent campsite. and we are going to save $75 for that. So that's it for our sinking funds for this week. Let's go ahead and add that up. So we have 85 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 75 is $230 for that. Next up, we have extra debt. So this is our debt snowball. We've been doing the debt snowball method for quite a while, paying a little bit every week towards our lowest credit card. Our debt snowball amount is up to $128. And if you watched my week 2 budget results video, I talked about how I was going to take the money that I had left over from last week's budget and put it towards my lowest credit card, which is my Capital One card, which means that that card has exactly $128 left to be able to pay it off. So with this $128 I'm paying this week, that should pay off my Capital One card. Super, super excited about that. I'm going to post a separate video doing sort of a debt snowball update, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. Click the subscribe button so you don't miss it, but I'm very excited. That card should be paid off. As soon as I'm done filming this video, I'm going to go in and make that payment, so that's very exciting. And so that takes care of my extra debt payments. Lastly, we have extra savings, and I am going to just stick $50 into my savings envelope as extra rainy day savings. This is different from sinking funds. Sinking funds are a specific goal that I have in mind. This savings is not for anything specific, it's just money I'm going to set aside for a rainy day. So that is it for my budget for the 3rd week in the month of August. Very, very exciting. Lots of exciting things happening. Extra savings, debt snowball, really, really excited. So before I let you guys go, I know I've been rambling on for quite a while, I'm going to really quickly flip over to this next page and do the cash envelope breakdown with you. This is where I'm going to write out all of the categories for which I need to pull cash out of the bank. So that's our cash envelopes, our sinking funds, and our extra savings. All of that gets pulled out in cash. So I'm going to write all of these categories as well as their amounts down on this page here, and then we're going to go through and do the cash breakdown together and figure out the denominations I need to pull from the bank. So I'm going to write down those categories off camera so that it's not tedious watching me do that, and then we'll do the cash breakdown together. Be right back. Alright you guys, so I have gone ahead and written in all of my categories that I need cash for. It is a lot of cash this week. I'm going to really quickly add up all of the amounts and get a total. $560 I need to pull out of the bank. So let's see what denominations we need to take. So for Austin, I'm just going to give him a $20 bill, easy peasy. My husband is going to get 2 20s. For my personal spending, I like to take some smaller denominations with the coin shortage. It's been pretty important to use exact change, so I like to have smaller bills so that I can do that. So I'm going to take a 20 and 2 10s. For miscellaneous, we're going to take, let's see, 2 20s and a 10. Eating out, I really like to break down a lot so that we have tips and exact change for the delivery drivers. We're not typically going into restaurants to eat. Most of our eating out is takeout or carside service. So it's really important that we have exact change for that. So we're going to take a 20, 2 10s, a 5, and 5 1s. Those 1s especially come in handy for tips. For gas, we're going to do 75. We're going to do 2 20s, 3 10s, and a 5. That should do it. That's 75, right? 20, 40, 50, 60, 75. Yep, okay. The rest of these categories are our sinking funds, and so I don't necessarily need smaller denominations for those since it's not money we're going to be spending right away. So for YouTube, it's 85. We're going to do a 50, a 20. Oops. See, this is why I need my erasable pen so I can erase my mistakes. A 50, a 20, a 10, and a 5. 50, 60, 70, 85. Right, that's accurate. For Christmas, we're going to do a 20 and a 5. Car maintenance is a 20 and a 5. Hunting is a 20 and a 5. Our campground will do a 50, a 20, and a 5. And our savings, we will do a 50. So now all that's left is to count up the denominations. So we have 5 ones, and that's $5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fives. That's $35. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tens is $90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 20s, and that's $280. And we have 3 50s, and that is $150. So now I'm going to add up the total value of bills and make sure it equals our $560. Which it does. And I'm going to transfer this information onto one of my cash teller sticky notes from the Budget Mom so that I can take this really easily to the bank and just hand it to the teller and she can give me the denominations I need. So 5 ones, all right, so I can take this to the bank now and get my cash, and I will be back at the end of the week on Friday with my cash envelope stuffing video. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do that so that you don't miss that video. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!